Today on Let's Talk Crimes, Frank is going to be talking to us about PPP loan fraud. You know, what is a PPP loan and how people are defrauding the government recently with the coronavirus. So Frank, with the coronavirus. So Frank, what is a PPP loan and how are people defrauding?
Good afternoon. Talk about a current topic, PPP loans. Let me tell you what the PPP stands for, and that's how I'm going to start. Payroll Protection Program. That's all it is, folks. We're making this program now in the middle of PPP times because we're in COVID-19 still, and this is the new federal charge that federal agents and prosecutors are going after. The government gave out this money knowing that there was a possibility that people would take advantage. So perhaps you're still in time to save the day. PPP, folks, does not mean pay me, please pay me. No, it means payroll protection. The government did this because they knew we were entering difficult times. They knew that when we shut down the cities of the United States, businesses were going to suffer. So one band-aid to it, which may have been a great idea, is to save people's payroll. If you save people's payroll, you put money in people's pockets. They don't lose their jobs until we see what happens with COVID-19. And the small businessman and even the large businessman keeps the infrastructure of the employee. That's the only purpose of that loan. If it's not payroll, you cannot get the money, period. And if you don't use it for payroll because you took it for payroll, but your staff left, then you did not commit fraud if you didn't lie in the application, but you have to return the money. So the way it works is employees were given an application, they filled out this application. You have to understand the government's giving the money, but you're going to be charged with bank fraud or wire fraud. And it's a federal charge because the banks are the entities that are processing these loans. If you lie in that application, you're lying to the bank.
And what is an example of something that I put on the application that would constitute defraud under this rule?
Okay. Any answer on that application that is not true is fraud. You may think to yourself, well, I lied a little bit. There's no such thing. I had 9 employees, but 1 employee left 1 week before I filled out the application. But I put 9 anyway because I thought she was coming back. You lied in the application. If the day you filled out the application was just to say a date, June the 1st, and you listed 9 employees, and one of those employees left a day before, you lied in the application as fraud. Why does it become bank fraud? Because the bank then relies on your answers. The bank can say they relied in every single answer that you placed, whether you agree or not that those were material questions. That's not the question. The question is, did the bank rely on your answers to give out the money? So any answer that is not truthful is fraud.
Is it true that in the feds almost everyone's getting convicted and they're pretty much ending up in prison?
I don't want you to mark my words because I don't look at statistics. Obviously I represent federal crimes, and I'm pretty sure that I will not misrepresent the truth if I tell you that in the federal system, more than 10, let's do it the other way. More than 90% of every individual that is charged with a federal crime ends up convicted. Don't mark my words, it's general statistics. I haven't looked at them in a while, but that's a pretty ballpark figure. So it is fair to say that in the federal system, most people end up pleading once they're charged or being found guilty. And the next question that would logically follow is, why is that? There are many answers to that. But one of the answers, I believe, is that the federal government has more resources than state. They investigate their cases a little more extensively. Most federal arrests happen after a grand jury indictment took place. which means that the federal prosecutors presented their case to a grand jury before they even arrested you. So those are sort of safety valves that they have in place. And when they make the arrest, it's fair to say that the federal government usually convicts, with some exceptions, of course.
All right, and what if I'm a business owner and I applied and got the money and then realized that perhaps my application was not all that truthful?
That happened. Many individuals, remember, this is something that happened from one day to the other. Even the federal government had to speed up and see how they were going to create this program. They were aware that there was going to be confusion. Many business owners, they don't keep their own finances. They call their CPAs or their financial analysts so that they can put up the paperwork so they can submit to PPP. Quite honestly, it may be negligent or not. Sometimes the actual business owner, that is the applicant, doesn't really go over all the paperwork. So it has happened that individuals have received the money. It's been a substantial amount. They've gone back to the books and they don't like the answers. They feel that either they weren't totally correct, or maybe they were untruthful, or maybe the CPA did not represent what they told them to represent correctly, and they're faced with a situation, oops, I got money I don't think I should have gotten. My response to that is, obviously, if that happened, go see your attorney. You need to see your attorney before the problem comes, because the problem is going to come. But my immediate recommendation is return the money. If you took money from the government, whether you did it purposely or not, and you're looking back now and you think that there's something wrong and you should not have taken it, return the money. Mitigate the damages.
All right. So I think we answered just about everything I wanted to hear. So,
folks, this is a crime of our times. The arrest already began. In the state of Florida, there have been some arrests already. They expect many more to come. These are complicated investigations. So don't think that because a year or even 2 years go by and you haven't got a knock on the door, don't think that you're not going to get it. If you trusted somebody else with your application and you didn't review it, my recommendation is take all the documents that you turned in, review them line by line. If there is one untruthful answer, you have to see your attorney, whoever your attorney may be. It doesn't have to be our firm, anybody. You have to get legal recommendation, and you need to take care of the problem. And if that means return the funds, return the funds. It's always great to give these episodes. This one is very important. We're getting a lot of requests on this one. People know that PPP document time is coming soon. They have to turn in the documents that corroborate their applications, and they're starting to get worried. I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, please, letstalkcrimes@gmail.com, and we'll try to answer them. Have a great afternoon.
And guys, remember, you could also leave a comment at the bottom of the video, or just go to our Facebook page at Let's Talk Crimes.
What you gonna do when they come for